Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on Play Games. My name is Lance, and today I'm looking at a brand new game on Kickstarter called Foundations of Rome. This is a new one from Arcane Wonders. It is a 2 to 4 player game that takes roughly 1 to 2 hours to play, and is a competitive game where each player is going to be competing against the other players to get the most points and be the overall winner at the end of the game. In the game itself, this is played over 3 rounds, and during each round you'll start with the first player and proceed in a clockwise manner. And during each player's turn, they have 3 different options they can choose to do an action. They can either gain resources, purchase a plot of land, or build a building. And this is going to continue until the end of the round is triggered, at which point the players will enter into a scoring step. After 3 rounds, the player that has the most glory will be the overall winner of the game. So highlights for me, I really enjoyed the simplicity of this game, but the depth of the strategy. As the game itself, it's very easy to teach and very easy to learn. Like I said, there's only 3 different options that players have for an action they can choose during their turn, so you're not bogged down with rules, and you can really get into the strategy of this one. And I love, as you get into the game, the different choices you have to make, especially as the rounds progress and you slowly get towards that 3rd round where you're really going to start shifting gears and really trying to maximize everything that you have out there. So I really enjoyed that. I also love the theme and artwork on this one, and the miniatures, of course. I'm a minis guy. I love the minis for this, and these are just prototypes. I cannot wait to see the final production copy of this game. It is going to be absolutely amazing. So, of course, these are just my opinions. I'd love to hear from you guys as well in the comments below. Let me know what you think on this one. I'd love to hear from you guys and start a conversation. So if you found this video helpful, if you like what I do, please consider that like button, subscribe to my channel, as it really does make a big difference, helps me to continue to grow and produce these videos for you guys. And if you want to stay updated on all my videos, also consider ringing that bell so you get notifications anytime I release new content. So let's head to the table, and I'll show you what this one's all about. Before moving into the overview, there's one thing I want to mention real quick, that all of the materials you see here are prototype materials and are subject to change, and will look a lot better with the production copy. Also, with the buildings, they are just 3D printed, so those will also look so much better, which right now they look really cool, but they're going to look even better with even more details in the production copy. So from there, let me jump on into the game. So first off, let me take a look at the board, and with that, it is going to scale based on the number of players. With a 2-player game, you're going to play a 7x7 grid. With a 3-player game, you'll include the blue grid, which will make it 8x8. The 4-player game will include the purple grid, which will make it a 9x9, and finally, if you have the 5th player expansion, it'll blow up to a 10x10 grid. And the final color on the 5th player track, I believe, is still up in the air being decided, so that is also subject to change. This is also reflected on the deed cards, with the cards being color coordinated as well based on the number of players, and will be listed down the bottom corner. So your 2-player cards will have the grade coloring, the 3-player cards will have blue coloring, and the 4-player cards will have the purple coloring. From there, this board is going to be how the players build up their buildings or place their buildings on the board to gain points throughout the game. And the players are going to start with 6 locations on the board that they will own right at the beginning of the game, and this will be determined in 2 different ways. Either the players can use the variant where they'll build a draft cards, making it less random, or if you're just looking to get right into the game, each player will receive 6 random cards, and those will be their starting locations. So let me go ahead and set that up real quick for the 2 players, and then I'll show you what happens next. So now that I have everything set up, we're ready to move into the game. So Foundations of Rome is a very, very simple game to learn, but there's a lot of depth and strategy and complexity to the game once you get into it. So first off, during each player's turn, they're going to get to perform one of 3 different actions. The first action they can choose to perform is to purchase one of the deeds from the deeds of sale, paying the cost in coins back to the bank and collecting that card, and then placing a token out on that deed that they purchased. The second option a player has is to collect coins, which they're going to receive 5 coins from the Emperor each time that they do this, plus any additional coins that are based on the buildings that are out there for the commercial buildings. And then finally, the player can also choose to build a building by taking one or more of their markers off of the board and replacing it with one of the buildings of their choice that fits that location. So, for example, with our purple player, let's say that he wanted to build a 2-plot building. He would remove those 2 tokens and then select one of his buildings that was 2 to build there. Now, the other important thing is, as the game goes on, let's go ahead and say that the player ended up gaining this location here, and then he wished to upgrade and build a bigger building on that location. You are allowed to do that, and you'd simply remove the building that you placed and place another building of your choice on there, but you can never downgrade. So I couldn't choose to reduce this building to a 2-space building, or I cannot build another 3-space building on top of this one, so I could not replace it with this building later on. I must build a bigger building that takes up more space. So from here, I'd have to build either a 4-space building that is a square there, or one of these longer buildings that's a 4-space building. Now, once our player makes a selection and chooses one of the actions that he wishes to perform and he carries it out, then it'll move to the next player in clockwise order. And this is going to continue going back and forth with the players until all of the deed cards have been purchased from the track and the round that they're playing is empty of cards. When the last card is purchased, each player is going to get one final turn, including the player that purchased that last card, and then they will move into a scoring step. So I'm going to go ahead and set up for that and show you how that works as well. So at the end of each round, the players are going to follow a specific set of guidelines to score different things. So first off, each player is going to total up their population, and you can alternatively do this in real time during the round as players add buildings that will add to that residential number. So first off, let me start with blue. So blue has 1, 2, 3, 4 points in the residential buildings. Then the purple player has 1, 5, and that's it for him, so he has 5 points. So then each player is going to get victory points based on that. So purple will have 5 and blue will have 4. And the player that has the most population is also going to receive a bonus, which is going to be based on the round. So in round 1, that is a 4-point bonus. So purple is going to jump ahead to 9 points. So purple's doing pretty good so far. From there, then the civic buildings are going to give players points. And we'll start with the civic buildings that give points on population for singles, which we don't have any out there currently. Then we'll go to the doubles, which the blue player does. And so he is next to this building here that the purple player owns that is worth 4 people. And it's going to have that number. So every 2 people that a building he's next to is going to get him 1 victory point. So blue is going to pick up 2 points for that one. And that particular building is not next to any other residential buildings. And again, it does not matter who owns those. From there, then we'll go to coins, which the purple player does have the market, which is going to get him 1 victory point for each building that's next to his. So since this building here is a residential building that produces coin, he will receive 2 victory points for that, moving him up to 11 points. Finally, then we have buildings for the civic buildings that will give points based on other civic buildings that they're next to, and then finally any building that they're next to with the certain type as well. From there, then some of the commercial buildings will also provide victory points. So again, starting with the blue player, he has 2 buildings that are out. This one is going to get him 3 points, and that one will get him 2 points. So he's going to go up 5 points for that, and that'll put him up to 11 points, tying with purple. But purple also has 1 building out that's going to get him 2 points for that. And the commercial buildings are also going to give the players coins that they're going to calculate. And this is a flat rate. The Emperor is not giving his 5 points for this. So with the blue player, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for that. So he's going to get 5 more gold. And the purple player has 1, 2 points for his residential, so he's going to receive 2 more gold for those. Once we're done with the scoring, then we'll go ahead and reveal the next round's cards, and the player to the player's left that was the last player to trigger the round will be the starting player this round. So if our purple player ended, then the blue player would start this round. Then we move into the next round, and we can go ahead and move back and forth with the players taking their turns again. From here, the last thing I want to do is just take you through a couple more turns to show you the game as it's progressed a little bit. So like I said, the blue player is going to go ahead and start off, and he's going to go ahead and purchase a deed right away. He's going to spend 2 to get that E1, which will give him a nice top section here that he can expand later on with a really big building if he wants to. And these will slide down. Moving over to the purple player then, that player is also going to purchase a card and is going to take F7 for 3 coins. So we'll mark that, and that player will move that over. Now, another important thing with the strategy is choosing when to build buildings. The purple player builds one of his larger buildings right away, but as you could see, the blue player took advantage of that right away and was going to be able to get points off of that. So sometimes it is beneficial potentially to build some of the smaller buildings initially, and then as the game progresses to go ahead and build some of those bigger buildings that are going to get you more points. But the strategy to it is choosing when that is the best time to do so. Moving back over to my blue player now, the blue player is going to, let's see, he'll purchase another card and he's going to take F5 for 4 coins. Then we'll slide down and purple player is going to go and he's going to go ahead and collect coins. So he gets 5 points from the Emperor and 1 additional one for each location he has out. So there's 2 additional coins. So he'll pick up 2 more. Moving back over to blue. Blue will build a building, so he's going to go ahead and remove these and this one and add this building here. Then he can go ahead and adjust his population track right away. So he's going to move that up 4. And he's at 8 now. Moving back over to the purple player, that player is going to, he's going to go ahead and purchase a 7 for 3 and start working on those bottom locations down there. And then it would move back over to the blue, and like I said, this is going to continue going until the players have completed 3 complete rounds and 3 rounds of scoring. At that point, the player with the most points will be the overall winner. Well, I hope you found this video helpful in deciding whether or not you want to back this title. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them, or swing by the Kickstarter's main page and drop any questions you have there as well. I'm sure the creators would love to hear from you and are more than happy to answer any questions you have. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch my videos and leave me feedback on them. I do really appreciate it and I try to make the best possible videos. So I'm always up for hearing what people like and what people don't like. And if you found this video helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to my channel, as it really does make a big difference, helps me to continue to grow and produce these videos. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.